Welcome to PWL IAS. Please confirm whether the audio and video is clear. So, this is my Telegram channel, people. Any doubts, any queries that you have to send your answers also, please send it over here. And please, while sending the answers, send it in the PDF format only. From 2013 onwards, you can start sending them. Pabad, all the 4 GS, and essay. Clear, people? So without any further delay, in the last class, we had basically dealt with NPA. We saw Minnowbrook 1 conference, Minnowbrook 2 conference. And to put it in a nutshell, like I told you, MB1 was all about, I told you an easy way to remember this, 1968. MB1 agar dekha jayega to you can easily compare it with what? The Angry Young Man, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan himself. Kuch karna hai, system ko badalna hai, ye karna hai, wo karna hai. So they were the ones who initiated relevance, value, equity, change, client focus, all of this. Core ideals, etc. were there. Very confrontational, very contentious, very revolutionary. Started planning for too much ahead, like 10 साल में क्या करना है, 20 साल में क्या करना है. तगड़ा प्लानिंग था. 1988 तक आने से क्या पता चला? That some things will never change. Practical होना ज्यादा जरूरी है. So the confrontational stance came down. MB2, if you see, they talked about technology, they talked about private players. It was more multidisciplinary. It had greater women participation. And it was less confrontational, less revolutionary. And they basically decided कि भाई दूर का प्लानिंग करने से पहले नजदीकी वाला चीजों के लिए पहले प्लान करते हैं. Let's go for short term planning rather than long term planning. 3 साल या 5 साल के प्लानिंग कर लेंगे, उससे ज्यादा let us not go. These were the major 2 highlights. Now we can see how NPA is moving on from very radical to practical. Now the third Minnowbrook conference took place in the year 20 years after that, MB3. That was in 2008. Now we need to see what were its key highlights. Clear, people? That is what we will be seeing today. And then basically we'll be winding up NPA today. All right. So good afternoon, Satish. Good afternoon, Akshat. Good afternoon, Kamya. So let us take it ahead now. The third Minnowbrook conference, MB3 2008. Many challenges and changes were witnessed after MB2. NPM approach to governance, normative conceptualization of administration had emerged. Publication of Reinventing Government by Osborne and Gabler redefined the functions of the government and favored an entrepreneurial government with the focus on debureaucratization, democratization, and decentralization. The process of LPG has made the public administration as enabler or facilitator. What is this now? So 1988, correct? Good afternoon, Suganya. Good afternoon, Sakshi. Now, can you tell me when did we adopt LPG? Liberalization, privatization, globalization. When did we adopt it? Very good. Very good, Akshat. Very good, Ashish. Very good. So, 1991 we adopted it. Basically, what is LPG? In a nutshell, whichever government companies are there which are not running profitably, we will either sell it to the private. First thing. Sectors where only government was there, now we will allow private players also come and compete there. Third, when we allow domestic players to come and compete, we will also encourage foreign players also to come and compete. So that is liberalization is the first thing. That is sectors which were only the monopoly of the government, we are allowing now private players to come into it. Sectors where now private players will come, they will compete with each other and they will compete with the private players abroad also. LPG. Once that happened, the whole concept of governance and the normative conceptualization of public administration had emerged. मतलब अब वापस यानी कि पहले एफिशिएंसी इकोनॉमी क्लासिकल थियरी के अंदर, फिर हमने उसे छोड़कर बोल दिया नो वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन ह्यूमन रिलेशन, वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन ह्यूमन बिहेवियर, मोटिवेशन के ऊपर फोकस करना है, ये सब आ गया. देन एनपीए टोल्ड नो 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 वी शुड आस्क व्हाट इज द रेलेवेंस, वैल्यू, इक्विटी, चेंज, ये सब करना है. But by 1990s now, new values are emerging. Why it is needed that everything should be done by the government? तो सारे जगह, not just in India, almost everywhere in the world, privatization had become a force which you cannot ignore anymore. क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट को लग रहा था कि सारा काम मैं ही क्यों करूं, जहां जहां प्राइवेटाइजेशन कर सकते हैं कर लेंगे. केस इन पॉइंट बीइंग, 20 साल पहले या 30 साल पहले, if somebody would have told railway board that is there, let us make it so independent, उसको एक स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी बना देंगे जहां पर जो जो सर्विस हम प्राइवेटाइज कर सकते हैं उसे प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स को दे देंगे विद इन द रेलवेज, पीपल वुड हैव क्रिएटेड वन हंगामा ओनली. हाउ कैन यू डू दैट, रेलवेज आर मेंट फॉर पुअर पीपल्स, दिस थिंग, ये नहीं कर सकते आप, ऐसे ऐसे बोलेंगे. नॉट एनी मोर. द लेटेस्ट रेलवे बोर्ड अमेंडमेंट विच वॉज tabled in the parliament in the winter session, that means last December, in that they have made clear provisions where the board is going to have a lot of powers. बोर्ड के पास ज्यादा पावर्स होंगे, बहुत ज्यादा डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन होंगे, यानी कि सारा काम, सारा फैसला रेलवे बोर्ड, you will start delegating the powers to the lower bodies. You will bring in private players. That is the future now. यानी कि पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एक एनेबलर और फैसिलिटेटर बनेगा. यानी कि वी विल एंश्योर दैट द राइट कंडीशंस आर देयर, whether प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स आर डूइंग देयर जॉब प्रॉपरली और नॉट. तो उसके लिए एक रेगुलेटर रखेंगे ये देखने के लिए क्या प्राइवेट प्लेयर ढंग का काम कर रहा है या नहीं. ऑल दैट वी विल डू एंड गवर्नमेंट विल जस्ट सिट बैक. गवर्नमेंट विल सिंपली कलेक्ट द जीएसटी या फिर सिंपली कलेक्ट द इनकम टैक्स, बस गवर्नमेंट का काम बस इतना ही है. क्रिएट अ कंड्यूसिव कंडीशन वेयर प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स कैन कम कॉम्पीट. यानी कि प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स अगर आना है तो क्या जरूरी है, देयर शुड बी क्लैरिटी ऑफ लॉस, मिनिमम पेपर वर्क, मिनिमम ब्यूरोक्रेटाइजेशन, एवरीथिंग शुड बी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक. वेरी गुड अक्षत. मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट, मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस, दैट इज द आइडिया. तो ये 90s के दशक से ही शुरुआत हुए थे. 90s में ही this had started and it is still continuing. Getting the point here. Now, if somebody would have told it in the 90s that Air India will get privatized, people would have gone mad only. Getting the point. But today, आज के जमाने में, तारीख में, it got privatized. Nobody had any complaints to say. Why? Why nobody complained about Air India's disinvestment? 100% whatever Air India was there with the government, entire thing, यानी कि not just the planes, the building, Air India के जितने भी assets थे, रियल एस्टेट में भी एयर इंडिया के जितने भी एसेट्स, बिल्डिंग, ऑफिस, कुछ भी थे, सब के सब handed over to Tata, sold it to Tata. Why people didn't have any issue with it? लोग सड़क पर क्यों नहीं आया, ये गलत है, एयर इंडिया को बचाओ. Why nobody came and did any आंदोलन? Beautiful, Akshat. That is the reason. Constant loss. नुकसान हो रहे थे. There was no point in actually running a loss making organization where your and my tax was going into what? Was going into the ditches. So it was almost like पैसा लेकर हम समुद्र में जाकर फेंक रहे हैं. उसकी बराबर थे ये. Government privatized it. Nobody had any complaint. Sakshi, fatigue from past struggles, that is different. That is again, what is it? That is almost like telling people got tired. People never got anything from their struggles, so they didn't go for an andolan. No, the real reason was actually what Akshat has put up. That is, it was a loss-making entity. सालों भर it has never run into profit. बहुत सारे IAS officers आए, IAS officers गए, there nothing changed. Privatized it. That means government is becoming what? Entrepreneurial government. Entrepreneur कौन है? Businessman who always thinks from profit motive. That means government का role welfare था, welfare, publicness, है ना? एनपीए भी कह रहा था वेलफेयर होना चाहिए, पब्लिकनेस होना चाहिए, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. अब गवर्नमेंट भी क्या सोचने लगे? भाई मुझे भी चाहिए मुनाफा. Why shouldn't government think about it? I believe it was Indira Gandhi, to the best of my knowledge, who told it in the parliament at a point of time. Public sector units are not meant for making profit. मतलब पीएसयूज जो है वो मुनाफे के लिए बनाया गया नहीं है, वो पब्लिक के भला के लिए बनाया गया है, ताकि उन्हें नौकरी दे सके, उनके गरीबी हटाएं और सस्ते में थिंग्स शुड बी अवेलेबल. This is what the thought process was in the 70s and the 80s, mind you. लेकिन आजकल the youth have started questioning, why should we run a loss-making PSU? What is the whole point of it? That means सोच बदल रहा, and we have to. Why? If you look at China, like I have told you already, in China, basically the scenario is if there are 100 companies of China that is having a global presence, उस 100 companies में more than 50% are state-owned entity. SOE, state-owned entity. State-owned entity का मतलब है वो हमारे PSU के बराबर है. इंडिया के कितने PSUs हैं टॉप 100 कंपनीज में दुनिया भर? कितने हैं? This is the problem. Until and unless our PSUs literally have a global presence, we are nowhere going to tackle with China. Getting the point here? So we are nowhere going to give China को टक्कर देने के लिए लायक भी नहीं रहेगा. That is the reality. Getting the point? Administration is an enabler or facilitator. Any doubts here? Any questions? NPM क्या है? This is the next evolution which we will deal with later. NPA के बाद हम deal करेंगे. All right. NPM is all about privatization. Zindabad. Privatization अच्छा है. That is what NPM is about, which we will take it in detail because that is the next stage of evolution of public administration. तो यहां पर थर्ड मिनोब्रूक कॉन्फ्रेंस में why are we discussing this? Because each of this had an impact on the third Minobrook. Clear? Any doubts, people? All right. So 2008, 40th anniversary of MB1. Why? because 1968 was the first MB1 and this is 2008. So 40th anniversary. 40 saal ho gaye the. It was headed by Professor Rosemary O'Leary. In addition to senior and junior scholars, there were participants from 13 countries. The theme was the future of public administration, public management, and public service around the world. Emphasis was given to comparative public administration. Can the profit motive of PSUs contradict the concept of welfare state? Okay, very good question, Akshat. But tell me, which PSU is actually doing a public welfare here? One PSU, name me. Tell me one PSU which is actually doing a public welfare. One. Railways, I will agree. ISR also I will agree. Atomic Energy Department also I will agree. But these three, we are not going to privatize it also. That we will not privatize. We will, certain aspects of it, we may privatize. Certain micro sectors within railways or atomic energy or space, we may privatize. But apart from all of this, can you name one PSU which is doing public welfare and it is doing a better job than a private player? Getting the point here? You will not find any. That is the reality. You will not at all find any, because the ultimate thing is, when you look at world over, agar aap dekhoge to, government should actually focus only on two sectors largely: health, education, and maybe, yes, infrastructure development. That's it. Social economic infrastructure should be carried out by the government. Agreed. Apart from that, any other PSUs which are in other sectors, it is better if government let go of it or privatize things. Or ask the PSUs to run at a profit. Give the PSUs enough autonomy to the point where profit is made. Now, I'm not going to discuss too much examples regarding this right now, because पूरा का पूरा PSU जो है, it is actually a chapter in paper 2. That is the third chapter is PSU. वहां पर we will discuss these things in detail with the examples. Clear? So coming back, emphasis was given to comparative public administration. Again, this is a separate topic. We'll take it later. What is comparative public administration? You are comparing the administrative setup in two different countries. ठीक है, you liked something, you feel why not we implement this? जैसे कि यूएस के सोशल सिक्योरिटी number is there. We took that whole thing, we took this whole idea and we made it what? Aadhaar. लेकिन यहां पर व्हाट डिड वी डू? वी डिड वन मोर थिंग. आधार सिर्फ एक नंबर नहीं है, उसके अंदर हमने दो और चीज डाल दिया, विच इज व्हाट? फिंगरप्रिंट, रेटिनल स्कैन. ये दोनों भी उसके अंदर डाल दिया, विच इज नॉट देयर इन द सोशल सिक्योरिटी नंबर. सोशल सिक्योरिटी नंबर, इट इज ओनली द नंबर, द इंडिविजुअल्स फोटोग्राफ, नेम, एड्रेस एक्सेट्रा, उतना ही है. आधार में लेकिन क्या है? इट हैज गॉट अनदर 2 levels ऑफ सिक्योरिटी एडेड टू इट. गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर? देन India में we have this UPI payments, correct? UPI payment system, correct? Which country wants to take it now? France. यानी कि इंडिया की आइडिया कौन लेना चाहते हैं अभी? फ्रांस लेना चाहते हैं. That is comparative public administration, because they are all surprised. They are all surprised. When Europeans come here, they are like, that's it. Payment is done. My God, this is so sophisticated. This is so advanced. That is what they are feeling. Why? This is the reason. Aadhaar has made this possible. Now let me tell you the idea of Aadhaar, again brought by the UPA government. Correct? But who is using the maximum fayda out of it? The current government, NDA government, because they have literally linked Aadhaar with everything. Aadhaar enabled payment system for all the social sector services of the government of India. सेंट्रल लेवल पर हो, स्टेट लेवल पर हो, मोस्ट ऑफ द सोशल सेक्टर स्कीम्स में जहां पर पेमेंट करना है, it is Aadhaar enabled payment system. Number one. Number two, like I told you, crime and criminal tracking network system, CCTNS. We have linked all the police stations in the country online. मतलब क्या है? You do one slight police case, you break the law somewhere, your name, your Aadhaar, everything will get enrolled into the system. Why? But sir, how will they get to know our Aadhaar? They'll take your thumb impression, right? That thumb impression is more than enough to get to know what is your Aadhaar card. They will verify it then and there. It is as simple as that. And why we have to do this? Is it not a right to violation of right to privacy? Internal security, people. Today morning's news is that around 35 to 36 Bangladeshi illegal immigrants have been arrested from the state of Tamil Nadu. Bangladeshi immigrants arrested from the state of Tamil Nadu. Then imagine they from Bangladesh and Tamil Nadu, obviously they are not nearby places. Correct? If here it is they have been caught means, then imagine where and all they are spread out. Getting the point here. That is why Aadhaar is required. Got the idea? So we took an idea from USA. We are making maximum utilization of it for payment, receiving money, giving away money, recording the data. For all of that, we are using it. France was impressed by the whole system. Now, India is helping France to implement such a system. Not only in France, in many other European countries, also India is extending this help. That is comparative public administration for you. Got the picture here? Moving on. The purpose of MB3 was to develop a network of scholars to support future collaborations and the exchange of ideas concerning improvements in public service. Collaborate करेंगे, मिलकर काम कर लेंगे, आगे ideas, आगे के लिए क्या करना है, all of that, the usual jargon. Mission of MB3 was to critique the current state of public administration, public management, and public service and examine the future of the field. Critique the current state. Matlab, every MB, 1 minute. Every Minobrew conference, if you see, they have always questioned the status quo of public administration. कि public administration क्या कर रहा है? MB3 also was no different. They wanted to question the current state of public administration, public management and public service. उसका एक criticism करो कि किस हद तक वो सही है, किस हद तक वो अपना काम नहीं कर रहा है, all of that. The platform was meant for disseminating the best papers presented. मतलब किसका पेपर सबसे बेहतरीन है, बेस्ट पेपर. You got scholars from 13 countries. So everybody came with their research. सब लोग, मेरा पेपर बेस्ट है. So they wanted to find out which is the best paper. लेकिन यही तो प्रॉब्लम भी था. 13 countries से when you have so many scholars coming, which scholar is going to admit उसका पेपर मुझसे भी बेहतरीन है? सब यही बोलोगे ना, मेरा पेपर सबसे बेहतरीन है, मेरा पेपर सबसे बेहतरीन है. Because to find out the best paper, it's almost like trying to define public administration. कहां से शुरू, कहां से खत्म. उसी तरह, each scholar, whoever is coming from whichever country, they will have a view of public administration based on that country. अगर मैं एक PubAd की student हूं, all right, तो if I prepare a research paper on public administration, I will be using data from India. And based on that only I will come to my viewpoints on public administration. तो मेरे हिसाब से मेरा पेपर सबसे बेस्ट है. A scholar from USA, US के हिसाब से, scholar from Europe, यूरोप के हिसाब से. In other words, ये बेस्ट पेपर के चक्कर में क्या हुआ? There was no unity. And everybody wanted to say, my paper is best, my paper is best. Clear? Absolutely, Sakshi. That's a very good example. To draw theoretical and empirical paradigms based on the experiences of working with market-oriented NPM practices since last 30 years. मतलब 30 साल से प्राइवेटाइजेशन की इफेक्ट क्या है पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस. Based on experiences of working with market oriented NPM, which is study impact of privatization in PubAd, examining the impact of network governance and collaborative public management. Network governance, collaborative public management. Pratham, NGO is there, the central government is there, state government is there, schools are there. What Pratham is actually doing is it is studying about the schools, the quality of the education, and it prepares a report called ASCR report. Annual School Education Report. अब इस रिपोर्ट मिलते 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 सेंटर ने फाइनली, सेंटर को भी मालूम पड़ गया कि भाई ये पुराना वाला एजुकेशन पॉलिसी नहीं चलेगा. रट्टा मार रट्टा मार रट्टा मार, इतना मार्क ला, इतना मार्क मिलेगा तो एडमिशन मिल जाएगा. दे आर डन विद दैट. Why? Because ultimately Indian students, if they need to get admission in foreign colleges, foreign universities, etc., one of the area where Indian students fare pathetically, abysmally low is extracurricular activities. It's a major component. Any best university, they will always look into, apart from studies, what else did you do in your school days? Which sports were you indulged in? Were you an arts club secretary or any literary club secretary? Did you take part for dance, drama, etc.? They look into all of that. And in Indian school conditions, that is, what is it? Pade likhoge, nawab banoge, keloge, kudoge, you will become a waste. That sort of kahawat and all is all there. That is the reason sometimes we don't even get admission. So that is the reason why new education policy, if you see, which the central government has brought out, that is exactly in tune with the foreign universities and foreign colleges. तो क्या हुआ उसके साथ? Because of that, what has happened now? Center came out with new education policy. अब ये new education policy क्या है? It is basically for the schools it is. But वो कौन implement करेगा? That will be implemented by the It has to be implemented by the state on the schools. It is up to the state government to implement that policy here, because lower level, school level education, if you see, or primary secondary level education, if you see, it's a state subject. So states have to implement it. तो यहां पर अगर आप देखोगे तो it is all networking. Center is involved, state is involved, NGO is involved, schools are involved, everybody is involved. And schools, again, if you see, it's both public and private. Getting the point here, everything is involved. And it's a collaboration again. Got the picture, people? Any questions? See, comparative public administration, you can do it with anything. Wilson started it off, but it did not get much attention that time. Comparative public administration started picking up only from the 50s, that is, especially after the Second World War. All right, CPA details we'll take it up later, but comparative public administration, when we say, the idea here is any best practice is that, चाहे वो private में हो, public में हो, practice अच्छा है, हम वो ले लेंगे. Absolutely, you can compare it with anything. It's not a problem at all. All right, I hope this is clear now. Going back, important changes that took place in the field since 1968. This was conducted post 9/11. That means क्या-क्या changes public administration के field में हो चुका है since 1968. Now, if you see, the problems of 1968 were not the problems in 2008. Why? By 2008, there were two major problems that the entire world was dealing with. One was definitely climate change. The other one was basically terrorism. अब ये दोनों चीज उतना ज्यादा नहीं था in the 60s. Clear? Taking it further forward, assessing influence on the development of a core theoretical base of public administration as a result of interdisciplinary interactions initiated since MB1. मतलब पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का कोर, उसका एक थियरी होगा, है ना. उस कोर जो है, हाउ, व्हाट इज द कोर ऑफ इट? बिकॉज ऑफ influence of other disciplines, psychology, sociology, human behavior, human motivation, economics, polity, everything. So what is the core? There were new problems that administration had to deal with: global warming and terrorism. Privatization was a force to be considered in matters of governance. मतलब मिनोब्रुक 2 में they accepted कि टेक्नोलॉजी है, प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स भी है, लेकिन they were not so happy about adopting privatization. लेकिन by 2008 they had understood it is a force. You cannot ignore it anymore. And it is better that जहां जहां it is possible है, privatize out things. Government cannot remain on the sidelines. ये भी बताया गया. मतलब privatization करने के चक्कर में don't privatize everything. Why? Because if you look at the 2001 terrorist attack, 9/11 attack which took place in USA, one of the primary reason that they found for the reason of this was airport की security. मालूम है ना? For those of you who have traveled in airport should be knowing this. In airport, the security is handled by CISF, Central Industrial Security Force, coming under the Central Armed Police Force. They are in charge of it, mostly. Then here and there some commandos also will be there, depending upon whether any VVIPs are coming or any very critical area is there. They will give in charge to the commandos also. Now all of this, if you see, is controlled by whom? Government. All our airports, USA, private agencies. I know many of you will be shocked to hear this. Private agency manages the security of the airport. that is considered to be one of the primary reason for what the terror attack to take place. मतलब क्या है, कुछ चीजें हैं जो आप प्राइवेटाइज नहीं कर सकते, करना भी नहीं चाहिए. गवर्नमेंट कैनॉट सिंपली सिट इन द स्टैंड का मतलब है गैलरी, यानी कि मैदान है, क्रिकेट हो या फुटबॉल. गवर्नमेंट कैनॉट सिट इन द गैलरी और इन द स्टैंड्स एंड स्टार्ट डूइंग तालियां बजा. दैट गवर्नमेंट कैनॉट डू. गवर्नमेंट हैज टू एंटर द फील्ड. गवर्नमेंट फील्ड में होना चाहिए. प्राइवेटाइजेशन करोगे तो भी गवर्नमेंट शुड कीप अ नजर ऑन देम. कर क्या रहा है? गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर. Key themes of Minobrook 3, empirical research. Importance of evidence-based practice. Minobrook 3 underscored the need for rigorous empirical research to generate valuable insights into public administration. This involves collecting and analyzing data to inform and improve administrative practices, policies, and outcomes. Like I told you, based on data, come to the conclusion. So if I am going to say social security number is useful in USA, let us bring something similar to here in India. It should be based on what? Data collect karo, analyze the data, then come to a conclusion. Empirical research का मतलब क्या है? Quantifying proper facts and figures. आप रिसर्च कंडक्ट कर रहे हो, डेटा कलेक्ट कर रहे हो, उस डेटा के हिसाब से यू आर कमिंग टू अ कंक्लूजन. Bridging theory and practice. The conference emphasized that empirical research should not be disconnected from the real-world issues faced by public administrators. Research findings should be actionable and relevant to practitioners working on the ground. सबसे बड़ा point. Because in MB1, if you remember, MB1 was about what? MB1 was relevance, value, equity, change. These were the main ones. MB2, if you see, they were like टेक्नोलॉजी को ज्यादा भाव मत दे दो, प्राइवेट प्लेयर को भी ज्यादा भाव मत दे दो. ग्राउंड रियलिटी क्या था? कुछ और. Because even bureaucrats found it easier to use technology. Governments found it easier to use private players. That is why in MB3 they told, थियरी बनाओ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में उस द थियरी शुड बी एबल टू अप्लाई. You should be able to apply the theory in practical life. It is not that theory is something and the problems of the administrators at the ground level both are at opposite poles. Theory, practical public administration के साथ संबंध रखना जरूरी है. India's UAPA Act, exactly. You can put all of that, not a problem. But UAPA Act, you can compare it, Sakshi, but I don't think they have developed that act looking at UK. We had a necessity here. Because the interesting thing is, UAPA, no state government, no government, no opposition party. Jab opposition mein hai, they will say this act is bad and all that. But ultimately the point is what? It is basically the necessity of the situation. When you have very big crimes happening, you need very strict laws to put a stop to it. Clear? Contextualized education. Tailoring education to regional needs. ये main point है. Recognizing that public administration is practiced in diverse contexts, Minobrook 3 highlighted the importance of adapting educational programs to reflect the specific needs and challenges of different regions. This approach ensures that public administration education is relevant and responsive to local and regional contexts where it is applied. A stark difference again from classical thinkers era or paradigm 2. Paradigm 2 क्या था? P2 talked about universal principles, है ना? और MB3 क्या कह रहा है? MB3 कह रहा है कि भैया ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. जो कुछ आप पढ़ा रहे हो या जो कुछ थियरी आप बिल्ड कर रहे हो, रीजनल कॉन्टेक्स्ट याद में रखकर करो. Getting the point? For that regional context, will it work or not? Then implement it. Now, Taliban has actually cut down bureaucracy. Taliban has actually brought down corruption. क्योंकि वहां पर कोई कोर्ट में लाओ तारीख पर तारीख सबूत क्या है nothing. They will look at you, they will be like, did you do this thing? Done. Finished. You're dead. Even before you can utter a word, AK-47's bullets will literally pierce your body. People are shit scared. No corruption. Real estate sector is booming in Kabul because of that reason. Can we take that and implement it in India? Absolutely not. Correct? So this is the difference. Whatever you build, it should suit what the regional needs. Global and local perspective. The conference called for a balance between global principles and local practices in public administration education. While there are universal aspects of public administration, local context can significantly influence how these principles are implemented and understood. Now we have basically ASHA. ASHA workers are there. Accredited social health activists who are responsible for actually assisting the doctors in the rural areas for delivery, for ensuring the health of the mother, the child, etc. Because we know it has a huge impact on health. Let us take the example of Afghanistan again. What has Taliban done there? Taliban has basically told that women should not be part of the healthcare also. Wonderful. Women should not be part of healthcare. If you make a decision like that, you know what that means? That society is doomed. Forget terrorism, forget USA, etc. Afghanistan as a society will get crushed internally in another 20 years. Take it from me. 20 years they will get crushed. Because this format of it don't involve women in anything, anywhere where things are public, that is not going to work. An uneducated woman, a woman who has got no exposure to the health sector, that's a recipe for disaster. You're not going to get healthy babies. Society will get crushed by itself. Nobody has to do anything. Getting the picture here. While there are, oh yeah. Any doubts so far, people? Public administration failed to address grave social issues because the field did not recognize itself as the de facto arbiter of social conflict, political conflict, and consequently as a discipline in shaping societal affairs. De facto arbiter of political conflict. आर्बिटर कौन है? आर्बिटर का मतलब है दो लोगों के बीच जब झगड़ा होता है तो एक मीडिएटर के तरह, डोंट फाइट, दैट इज कॉल्ड आर्बिट्रेशन. PABAD has failed to recognize itself as the de facto arbiter of political conflict. मतलब PABAD ये भूल गया कि politically जब कोई लड़ाई हो रहा है, PABAD is supposed to act as a mediator. It has forgot about it. In other words, why will a political conflict occur? Political conflict क्या है? It can be between the ruling party and the opposition. It can be between the party and the people. It can be between insurgent groups and the government. है ना? So you take any conflict you take, that is ruling party एक तरफ, opposition दूसरे तरफ. Then you have terrorist groups, you have insurgent groups, you have media, you have the public. Conflict is there. हर जगह बेसिकली क्या हो रहा है? लड़ाई हो रहा है. हर जगह लड़ाई हो रहा है. then who can solve it? Who is the only intermediary here who can actually solve this? Pabad? True, right? Any doubts on this? So Pabad has to be the arbiter here. Because if public administration policies are proper, why will opposition have a problem? If public administration is doing a good job, fantastic job, why will terrorism will increase, or why will insurgency will increase? Or why will public have an issue? Why will media have an issue? Getting the point here. लेकिन Pabad ये भूल ही गया है. You want the people to be happy. All you have to do is what? Administration should be good. Now, generally, if you see, there is an increasing anger today among the people when it comes to the taxation policies. There is an increased anger among the youth when it comes to irresponsible statements being made by people like Mr. Subramaniam as well as Mr. Narayana Murthy. 70 hours work karo, 90 hours work karo. We will work. We will start a chai shop and we will work for our own company. We will not work for you corporates. If the youth decides that, हम भी अपना कंपनी खोलकर हम भी कर लेंगे धंधा. End of the story. Getting the point here? Arey yaar, whatever examples you want, you take. 26 9/11 attack. Why did it happen in the first place? In spite of a clear intelligence warning, public administration failed. Why it took 40 years for the toxic waste gas of Bhopal gas tragedy to be disposed of? Pabad's failure. Plenty of examples are there. Any example you take, wherever you feel there is a delay. IKEA furniture company, Swiss furniture company, it took them close to 6 or 7 years just to open one branch in entire India, in Bangalore. All of that is the failure of public administration, right? The field suffered from bureaucratic pathology. Bureaucratic pathology. Pathology क्या है? Disease. Bureaucratic pathology means what? The disease that public administration is having is bureaucratic. आप लोगों के वजह से. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, another union minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, they all were very vocal about one thing, that they are tired of IAS officers. They both were vocal about this. They literally said, we are tired of them. क्योंकि हर काम डिले कर रहा है. And that is the reason why the current government, if you see, they are trying to increase the number of lateral entrants. Lateral entrants कौन है? Who have never wrote UPSC exam. They are only what? An expert in some field. कोई field में वो expert है. जैसे कि 20 साल बाद let us say there is a lateral entry opening. Okay, I simply applied. And the education minister, looking at my profile, everything felt, he has experience teaching so many years. Let me take him on a contract basis for 5 years. He appoints me as joint secretary. Whereas Akshat, who has entered the civil service, 20 साल काम कर transfer, ये वो सब कुछ करने के बाद Akshat went home and told to his wife, darling, मेरा promotion होगा, minister साहब ने वादा किया है. And you all celebrate, have a nice party, everything, and later you get to know, कोई निखिल राम अब joint secretary बन गया है. Will Akshat feel happy about it? No. But that is what the current government is doing. Why? Because I don't know about the rules and regulations of how bureaucracy runs. I will work there with the same efficiency of working in a private field. Getting the point here? Akshat is used to the bureaucratic functioning. कि ऐसा चिट्ठी आएगा, ऐसा ऑर्डर आया तो क्या करना है, अगर ऑर्डर ऐसा है तो क्या नहीं करना है. Akshat knows all of that. I don't know all of this. आई ओनली नो व्हाट काम अगर दिया है, काम उसके वक्त के डेडलाइन से पहले उसे खत्म करना है, बिकॉज आई हैव ऑलवेज वर्कड इन अ प्राइवेट फील्ड एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट द गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो वांट्स. They want people to work with the efficiency in a private organization. Getting the point here? Coalition government ordered the Kandahar hijack of. It's nothing to do with coalition government and all. See, understand one thing first. First of all, it is nothing to do with whether coalition government it was or not. It was a very tricky time actually, because we didn't know. Because normally what used to happen was that bombing of aeroplanes have taken place. Kandahar hijack was more to do with there were people there. And again, it was close to the election year. So we were literally confused कि क्या करे या ना करे. Getting the point here. So that was the reason why whatever decisions we took, it was a result of that. And it is not that a coalition government decided to take things upon themselves. No. They discussed with the opposition also कि क्या करना है. But after the hijack, we came with a policy. If any aeroplane is henceforth hijacked, we will just send in a missile and destroy it. We are not going to negotiate. We brought a rule there. Because the nuksan what happened after releasing that Daesh, that terrorist, it has been even more than the saving of the passengers. He has done more damage. So we have decided with that. So coalition government, we cannot blame it there. Clear, people? Any doubts here? Just give me a minute, people. Moving on. Our MB3 was considered as a failure by a few scholars as there was paucity of time. Paucity of time का मतलब है वक्त कम थे. For conducting deliberations and building a bond of trust. Everyone who participated wanted to present their papers as the best. तो सब लोग मेरा पेपर बेस्ट है, मेरा पेपर बेस्ट है, ये करते करते क्या हुआ? Nothing came out of it as such. So what did finally MB3 emphasize? New scholars to serve as change agents regarding the use and teaching of research methods and the responsiveness of the peer review process. New researchers क्या बनेंगे? Change agents बनेंगे. Change agents का मतलब है these people will bring change, बदलाव to public administration. Plus there will be a peer review process. Peer review process का मतलब है मैंने पेपर लाया, मैंने रिसर्च किया है, मेरा ये पेपर रिव्यू करेंगे साक्षी और अक्षित. They will review it and they will tell me what are the good things, what are the bad things. Publish करने से पहले. Then more attention to the method of action research to increase engagement with the issues and practice of public administration. Method of action research. Method of action research का मतलब है आपने जो भी रिसर्च किया है उसका मेथड क्या है? What methodology have you used there? And action research का मतलब है practicality. हकीकत के साथ किस हद तक जोड़ दिया है. So again the point is what we discussed earlier, bridging the gap between theory and practice. Clear? आगे. Commitment to methodological pluralism. मतलब अलग अलग मेथड्स यूज करेंगे, चाहे वो साइकोलॉजिकल मेथड हो, सोशियोलॉजिकल मेथड हो, कुछ भी हो, अलग अलग मेथड्स इस्तेमाल करेंगे टू कम टू अ कंक्लूजन, नॉट वन सिंगल मेथड. Every method we are ready to use here. Reformulation of public administration and defining public administration as socially embedded process of collective relationships, dialogue and action to promote human flourishing for all. Notice, socially embedded process है. आप कुछ भी करो, प्राइवेटाइजेशन करो, पब्लिक सेक्टर यूनिट से करो, कुछ भी करो, अल्टीमेटली इट इज गोइंग टू अफेक्ट द पब्लिक, है ना. तो उसमें एक सोशल चीज है, इट विल अफेक्ट द पब्लिक. देयर इज अ सोशल एलिमेंट टू इट ऑफ कलेक्टिव रिलेशनशिप. NGOs, civil society organizations, private players, bureaucracy, central government, state government, local government, international organization, सब मिले हैं. डायलॉग, वातावरण, communication, action to promote. Ultimately, what are you going to do for human welfare? Flourishing means like for them, for the benefit of human beings. They envisioned a stronger link between research and practice and themselves as being sought out for help by practitioners. A stronger link between research and practice and themselves as being sought out for help by practitioners. मतलब क्या है? Again, bridging the gap between theory and practice. And PubAD के researchers will be contacted. PubAD scholars for solution. जो भी प्रॉब्लम है PubAD का, उसका सॉल्यूशन आप किससे जाकर पूछेंगे? PubAD scholars से. Getting the point here. They envision public administration scholars as valuable experts for real problem solving who would make a real difference. That is iska meaning. Getting the point here. Tied in with this, they envisioned a culture in the field that was interdisciplinary, global and inclusive. Interdisciplinary, यानी कि multiple subjects. Globally also, it is valid, trying to find solutions for terrorism, cyber warfare, global warming, all of that. Number 3, it is inclusive also. मतलब हर देश के local needs भी मायने में रखते हुए you will try to build a solution. The future as represented by Minobrook 3 participants clearly lies in a more global approach to thinking about institutions and the work of public administrators. A global approach रखना सही होगा. True, in a few matters, especially climate change ले लो, terrorism ले लो, cyber terrorism ले लो, cyber attacks ले लो, या चाइना के aggressive belt and road initiative ले लो. For all this, we need what? A global approach. Getting the point here, because globally, whatever is happening will have an impact locally. Correct? Syria में government गिरा. The Bashar regime fell. What was the immediate impact internationally? Crude oil prices went up. Crude oil prices, as it goes up, in India, petrol prices will go up. We are all affected. Got the picture here, people? Any doubts so far? Any doubts? Now let us see what are the anti-goals of NPA. Goals are there, then there are anti-goals. So let us see. According to Robert T. Golumbisky, कौन अपने बच्चों का नाम गोलम्बिवस्की रखेगा? I mean, प्रोनाउंस करने में भी दिक्कत है. Anyway, the following anti-goals stand out in public administration. Following anti-goals. Now, this had come once as a question. All right. So, understand it. It's for your information again. That is, its literature is anti-positivist as it rejected a value-free public administration. This could lead to losing focus of ultimate goals and objectives. That first sentence itself is, I know, it's quite confusing. Its literature is anti-positivist as it rejected a value-free administration. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of this part here? Rejected value-free administration means what? बस इसका, as it rejected a value-free public administration. No one. PubAd should be detached from values of ethical and social values. Good, Akshat. Rejecting value-free public administration means value-free. That is, value-free का मतलब क्या है? दूसरा शब्द for value-free, neutral रहना. To be value neutral. Like some of our actors, विद्युत जम्वाल, टाइगर श्रॉफ, एक्सेट्रा, कोई एक्सप्रेशन नहीं रहता चेहरे पर, एज इफ देयर फेस इज आयर्न्ड, है ना? वैल्यू न्यूट्रल का मतलब है फॉर्म आ गया, 10 कंडीशन में 5, 8, 9 कंडीशंस मिल रहा है, 10वां कंडीशन इज नॉट सेटिस्फाइड, यू रिजेक्ट द एप्लीकेशन. दैट्स वैल्यू न्यूट्रल. व्हाट इज इट? रिश्वत देने के लिए तैयार है, कोई मिनिस्टर की रिकमेंडेशन है, कुछ भी है, प्राइम मिनिस्टर से भी रिकमेंडेशन आएगा तो भी आर लाइक आई एम रिजेक्टिंग इट, जो करना है कर दो. दैट इज वैल्यू न्यूट्रल. सो व्हाट डिड एनपीए से? एनपीए एक्चुअली टोल्ड व्हाट? एनपीए टोल्ड के वैल्यूज होना चाहिए अमिताभ बच्चन की तरह, कुछ करेंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, ऑल ऑफ दैट. So NPA actually said you have to have values. मतलब इमोशन होना चाहिए, एम्पैथी होना चाहिए, एक्सेट्रा. दैट इज 10 कंडीशंस में 9 कंडीशंस मिल रहा है. 10वीं कंडीशन, इज इट रियली इंपॉर्टेंट? इज देयर एनी वे टू बाईपास इट? सीनियर से भी एक बार पूछ कर देख रहे हो आप, उसके बाद आप देख रहे नहीं है, नहीं हो सकता, देन यू कॉन्टैक्ट एन एनजीओ और यू फाइंड सम अदर गवर्नमेंट स्कीम which will benefit the people who have applied. That is a valued approach. You're trying to find something there. So NPA wanted values. And what is the problem with this? Having values. ये values जो है, it is very subjective. Subjective का मतलब क्या है? Situation to situation, सिचुएशन टू सिचुएशन इट विल कीप चेंजिंग, है ना? तो कौन से वैल्यू सही है, कौन से वैल्यू गलत है, वी कैनॉट से इट बिकॉज इट विल कीप चेंजिंग. मतलब दिस इज एंटी पॉजिटिविस्ट, क्योंकि ना आप इससे मेजर कर सकते हैं, ना आप इसके लिए एक आंकड़ा डाल सकते हैं. यू कैन नॉट मेजर इट, यू कैन नॉट डिफाइन इट. पॉजिटिविस्ट क्या है? वैल्यू न्यूट्रल. क्यों? साफ साफ साबित है कि रूल्स क्या है. 10 में 9 कंडीशन ही सेटिस्फाइड है, 10वां कंडीशन नॉट सेटिस्फाइड, रिजेक्टेड. पॉजिटिविस्ट कंप्लीट क्लैरिटी. पूरा का पूरा क्लैरिटी है. यहां पर एक ही चीज के लिए, दैट इज फॉर डिफरेंट पीपल इट विल बी डिफरेंट वैल्यूज. व्यक्ति के हिसाब से वैल्यूज और सिचुएशन के हिसाब से वैल्यूज विल कीप चेंजिंग. गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर? वेरी गुड साक्षी. सो एनपीए क्या है? इट इज हैविंग वैल्यूज which will keep changing, which you cannot measure, which you cannot quantify. Therefore, it is anti-positivist because it's not objective, it's not factual. Whereas वैल्यू फ्री और वैल्यू न्यूट्रल क्या है? पुराने हमारा ब्यूरोक्रेसी, मैक्स वेबर्स ब्यूरोक्रेसी, इट इज पॉजिटिविस्ट. इट रिक्वायर्स क्लैरिटी. क्लियर पीपल? दैट इज द मीनिंग. Its literature is anti-positivist as it rejected a value-free public administration. Why? Because they said you need values. NPA said you need values. Values Sindabad. This could lead to losing focus of ultimate goals and objectives. Absolutely true. Because you keep changing your values means according to situation, according to people, you will end losing the focus. क्या करना चाहते हो, it will keep changing. So for example, best example for this is our tribunals. ट्राइब्यूनल्स की verdicts जो भी है changes from situation to situation. Not like ordinary courts. Ordinary courts, it is very clear. They will look into the law. What law has been violated, they will give the punishment. Tribunals ऐसा नहीं करता. Tribunals looks into each case specifically. They will look into the larger picture, not just the breaking of law. They will look into the whole context. किस context में कानून तोड़ा था या नहीं तोड़ा था. And based on that, they will give the verdict. So कुछ जगह वो सही होगा, कुछ जगह वो गलत होगा, मालूम नहीं. Best example I'll tell you for this now. Very recently, National Green Tribunal decided to punish the vehicles used by SPG, Special Protection Group. Special Protection Group कौन है? That gives protection to the Prime Minister. All right. Why did they decide to punish the vehicles? Because in Delhi area, there is a limit to the diesel vehicles that can be used there. उसके लिए कुछ conditions है. And SPG was using diesel vehicle. NGT decided to punish them. They are not seeing the fact that SPG अब मनोरंजन के लिए they were not driving the vehicle. They were using it for the protection of the Prime Minister. Getting the point here? So, ordinary courts did not punish anything. Supreme Court or the Delhi High Court did not say anything for it. NGT got involved there. Clear? So it keeps changing. Rejected the definition of public administration that was not involved in policy. यानी कि NPA did not give any importance, rejected the definition. Of public administration that was not involved in policy. This could lead to neglect of political implications and context. मतलब क्या है? NPA gave importance to politics because NPA understood that आप पॉलिसी और पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इसको आप अलग नहीं रख सकते. अब इसके वजह से क्या हुआ? नेग्लेक्ट ऑफ पॉलिटिकल इंप्लीकेशंस एंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट. When you say administration and politics are together, what will happen is something will have more of political implication than administrative. Some things will have more of administrative implication than political. Case in point being, 1975 to 77, when we had the emergency declared, administration also listened to Indira Gandhi. They continued. 77 में जब emergency was called off, elections were declared, and in 78 when she lost the election completely, everybody blamed only Indira Gandhi government. Nobody blamed the administration. Correct? Nobody blamed the administration. No IAS or IPS officers were suspended. Administration largely continued as it is. Some of them did get suspended. I'm not denying it. What is it? Blatantly did human rights violation and all. They got arrested. They got suspended. All of that was there. But largely nobody blamed the administration. They only blamed the politicians. Getting the picture here. So जब एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और पॉलिटी एकदम नजदीकी लेवल पर जब काम करने के लिए बैठोगे, what will happen? Sometimes whatever the administration does also, politicians will be blamed for it. Or whatever the administration doesn't, politicians doesn't do, administration will be blamed for it. Getting the point here? So it will keep varying depending upon the context. Third one, it is anti-bureaucratic. NPA is anti-bureaucratic. Why? And anti-hierarchical. Because they wanted proactive administrators. Angry young man, जो ऑर्डर के लिए वेट नहीं करोगे, सीधा जाकर काम करोगे. They will not wait for order. They will do everything by themselves. What is the भाड़ में गया hierarchy, भाड़ में गया senior. All that I will only do. Dapang banunga, Singham banunga, all of that. So there is this web series which I saw very recently in Netflix. That is Black Warrant. It's okay. Not a bad series. Part fiction, part reality. It is a clear example of even how you are supposed to work in the reality of a public administration setup. It's the closest thing to reality. क्योंकि वो the main character there is honest, he is a decent guy, all of that. लेकिन we can see how his decency, his sincerity is getting questioned, and how things keep falling upon him. बाकी लोगों गलत काम कर रहा है, लेकिन इंजाम उस पे आ रहा है. And we can clearly see finally how he starts using his brains, and then he uses his sincerity to deal with the things. And it also shows very clearly, again, ये आप what is it, गैर कानूनी काम करोगे या फिर आप इधर बैलेंस करो उधर बैलेंस करने की कोशिश करोगे तो वो थोड़ी दिन के लिए टिकेगा, ज्यादा दिन के लिए नहीं. What ultimately will take you in the long race, in the marathon, will be ईमानदारी. So if you get time, just watch it. If you get time. Administrator prioritizing marginalized community over efficiency goals. Absolutely true. Administrator prioritizing freebies over development. Getting the point here. It is anti-technical. The emotive, creative man is being sacrificed to the logic of machine and system. एनपीए एंटी टेक्निकल है, यानी कि इंसान के जगह आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा मशीन्स इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. Getting the point? The emotive creative man is sacrificed to the logic of machine and system. Agreed. MB2 हो, MB3 हो, they did not give much emphasis to technology, but they were but technology का इस्तेमाल हो रहा था in public administration. 80s से ये जो शुरुआत हो गया, आज तक अगर आप देखोगे तो technology's use is only going to increase. It is not going to decrease. But what is the main highlight here? Emotive creative man. Innovative ideas what a administrator can bring. No AI, no software will be able to think to that level until and unless you feed it. Getting the point here? So all of that is getting sacrificed with what? Logic of machine and system. Getting the picture here? Any doubts? Only this much is there. Anti-goals. Only this much is there. Because just in case if you get a question. Goals of NPA, which we have already seen. Frank Marini summarized the goals of NPA as follows. So, anti-goals was given by Robert T. Golumbisky. Goals of NPA has been given by Frank Marini. Let us take it up one notch further. First one is relevance. Public administration has traditionally been interested in two E's, that is efficiency plus economy. NPA's theme was to deal with the political and administrative implications of administrative action. Administrators जो कर रहे हैं इसका नतीजा पॉलिटिकल और एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव नतीजा क्या है? That is what NPA focuses on. 26/11 में we know very well that Mumbai police was inept. All right, was very inept and very inefficient. There is no doubt about it. और हम उसे दोष भी नहीं कह सकते क्योंकि टेररिस्ट के पास ऑटोमेटिक वेपन्स थे और हमारे पास क्या थे? पिचकाओ वाले बंदूकें थे. So, no doubt about it. Now, what was the implication after that? The administrative inaction or poor action from Mumbai police led to what? IPS की training और भी tough बना दिया. Handling all sorts of weapons, everything, training, martial art, all of that increased. Delta force they created within the Mumbai police. क्यों? 26/11 में attack, when the attack is happening, it took close to 24 to 36 hours, I remember, just to bring NSG from Delhi. सोच लो जरा, दिल्ली और मुंबई में उतना फर्क नहीं है डिस्टेंस वाइज इफ यू सी, बट दे टुक 24 to 36 hours. That was the efficiency. Next, management oriented public administration curriculum is irrelevant. Again, we know because private players को we were basically not so interested in it. NPA was not so interested. NPA wanted everything to be done by the administrators, the bureaucrats. कुछ करके रहेंगे, that sort of thing. It demands meaningful studies oriented towards the reality of social life. Socially relevant चीजों के लिए हम वक्त इस्तेमाल करेंगे. जो समाज के लिए सबसे भला ज्यादा कौन लाएगा, उस चीज के ऊपर हम वक्त spend करेंगे. Clear? That is what relevance was. Moving on. Values. NPA rejects the value neutral stand taken by management oriented public administration. Management oriented public administration में अगर आप देखोगे तो business administration only looks into what? Profit. Simple. So they don't look at anything over there. You have brought the numbers, you will have a job. You don't have the numbers, go out. That is why Mr. Subramaniam and Narayana Murthy will keep giving gyan. All right. Subramanian, at least fine. At least he doesn't go about trying to give motivation to people and all that. Mr. Narayana Murthy, to even more better. Won't increase the salary of the starting salary of the engineers who are working in his own company, but will go around telling, giving gyan and everything. Husband wife duo put together. सोशल सर्विस करना अगर इतना चाहते हो तो पहले खुद के घर में वो शुरू करो, पहले खुद के कंपनी में. Anyway, that is a different stand again. So NPA rejects the values of what? Business oriented management. The new movement advocates openness with regard to the values being served through administrative action. किसके भला कर रहे हो आप? Whom are you trying to serve here? Make it very clear. So MG Narega, why are we running it? Rural people needs it. Why are we giving National Food Security Mission के अंदर? Why is it that we are giving खाना to 81 crore people? They need it. Poverty. Ethics, honesty, and responsibility in government have returned again to the lexicon of public administration. ईमानदार हो जाओ, जिम्मेदार हो जाओ, ethics होना चाहिए. All of this was brought back to the lexicon. Lexicon means it's like a dictionary. The terms and terminologies of PubAd. All of that, it came back. Clear? Or in other words, नॉर्मेटिव कंसर्न्स. कोई भी काम करने से पहले थोड़ा तो सोचो कि ये किसका भला करेगा. हाउ द सोसाइटी विल बेनिफिट फ्रॉम इट. Frederickson has said that NPA should be less generic, more public, less descriptive, more prescriptive, less institution oriented, more client impact oriented, less neutral and more normative, and no less scientific. Less generic का मतलब क्या है? General theories बनाना छोड़ दो, यूनिवर्सल प्रिंसिपल्स ये सब छोड़ दो, पब्लिक के बारे में सोचो. Less descriptive, more prescriptive. पोस्ट कॉर्ब, पीओ, ट्रिपल सी, वन बेस्ट मेथड, ब्यूरोक्रेसी का मॉडल ये मुझे नहीं चाहिए. ये डिस्क्राइब करना ये छोड़ दो. बोलो क्या करना है, प्रेस्क्रिप्शन दे दो मुझे. गिव मी द प्रेस्क्रिप्शन. प्रेस्क्रिप्शन क्या है? डॉक्टर की प्रेस्क्रिप्शन है ना, 4 दवाएं, सुबह 1 खाओ, रात को 2 खाओ, ऑल दैट, बिकॉज डॉक्टर इज लिटरली टेलिंग यू व्हाट टू डू. Whereas PubAd till now has only told the description. क्लासिकल थियरी एक डिस्क्रिप्शन दे दिया, ह्यूमन रिलेशंस को एक डिस्क्रिप्शन दे दिया, ऐसे ऐसे करके डिस्क्रिप्शन आपने दे दिया. मुझे वो नहीं चाहिए. मुझे क्या चाहिए? करना क्या है. लेस इंस्टीट्यूशन ओरिएंटेड, मोर क्लाइंट ओरिएंटेड. क्लाइंट फोकस का मतलब क्या है? क्लाइंट के ऊपर इंपैक्ट मींस व्हाट इज द इंपैक्ट ऑन द पब्लिक. पब्लिक के ऊपर क्या असर है. लेट अस फोकस ऑन दैट, नॉट ऑन वेदर इंस्टीट्यूशन अच्छा चल रहा है, इंस्टीट्यूशन प्रॉफिट के लिए चल रहा है. लीव ऑल दैट. हाउ इज इट इंपैक्टिंग? इज इट क्रिएटिंग एनी इंपैक्ट ऑन द पब्लिक? लेस न्यूट्रल एंड मोर नॉर्मेटिव एंड नो लेस साइंटिफिक. न्यूट्रल थोड़ा कम करो. मोर नॉर्मेटिव का मतलब क्या है? वैल्यूज होना चाहिए. एंड नो लेस साइंटिफिक. और वैल्यूज के साथ एक साइंटिफिक तरीके से काम करना है. गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर. मैनुअल वोटिंग. वोटिंग इज मैनुअल ओनली. व्हाट अदर वे इज देयर, साक्षी, टू डू वोटिंग? कैश सब्सिडीज. व्हाट कॉन्टेक्स्ट? This is like a sub note, okay? Any doubts here, people? Point 3. Okay. Cash subsidies. Agreed. Coming to social equity. Public administration should become the champion of the underprivileged sections of the society. And positive discrimination may be utilized to protect and promote the interest of such sections of the population. Can anybody tell me an example for positive discrimination? Positive discrimination. Very good, Sakshi. So, positive discrimination simply means those people who are downtrodden in the society, जैसे कि SC, ST, OBC, EWS reservations, whatever we have, आयुष्मान भारत स्कीम है, जो भी एल्डर्स है, एल्डर पॉपुलेशन के लिए they will get their insurance covered under Ayushman Bharat. That is positive discrimination. Because of their social condition, you are giving them a benefit. So, champion of underprivileged sections of the society and positively will discriminate ताकि उनको भी हम ऊपर ला सके. और इस चीज के लिए किसका इस्तेमाल होगा? You will use bureaucrats. And it is the responsibility of the states to ensure what? Social equity आप ला रहे हैं. Getting the point here? To bring social equity, it is done. True. See, it's a differential treatment, but the correct word for it is polity terminology. It is positive discrimination. Negative discrimination means किसी का जेंडर के ऊपर या किसी के कास्ट के ऊपर, कलर के ऊपर आप उसको एक डिफरेंट ट्रीटमेंट दे रहा है. That is negative discrimination. Positive discrimination means socially or economically backward people को बाकी के जनरल कैटेगरी पॉपुलेशन के साथ लाने के लिए you are giving certain, you're making certain policies for their upliftment socially and economically. Change. NPA emphasizes that public administrators should become active agents of social change and should not believe in status quo. It suggests innovations in administrative machinery for bringing about social transformation. Operational flexibility and organizational adaptability should be built into the administrative system to meet environment changes. To serve the cause of social equity is to actively work for social change. मतलब क्या है? बदलाव के लिए first thing is what? Public administrators should become active agents of social change. Plenty of IAS officers example you will see for this. Plenty are there. Just Google. Just Google IAS officer. What is it? IAS. Positive change or impact society. ऐसे keywords Google में डालो. Plenty of examples you will get. And I will also recommend you to search and keep such examples because you will need this in your ethics paper and to a certain extent in your essay paper. Innovations in administrative machinery. जैसे कि अभी Aadhaar enabled payment system. Money will directly go to them. Operational flexibility and organizational adaptability according to environmental changes. मतलब क्या है? जिस हिसाब से एनवायरनमेंट में बदलाव हो रहा है उसके हिसाब से आप आपका ऑपरेशंस भी फ्लेक्सिबल रखो, आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी उस हिसाब से अडेप्ट होना चाहिए. So if you look at the political flexibility and organization adaptability today, most state or central government, state governments especially, are focusing on what today? freebies. That is what the environment is demanding. To serve the cause of social equity is to actively work for social change. सोशल इक्विटी अगर आपको लाना है तो उसके लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है? सोशल बदलाव. Clear, people? The attack is on the status quo and the powerful interests entrenched in permanent institutions. The Minobrook participants explored ways of institutionalizing change and remedying the bureaucratic tendencies in the organization. जो भी ब्यूरोक्रेटिक टेंडेंसीज है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में उससे कम करवा दो जितना भी हो सके. एंड दैट इज व्हाई यू आर हैविंग प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स दीज डेज. प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स अभी धीरे धीरे कहां कहां आपको देखने के लिए मिलेंगे? रेलवेज में भी आपको देखने के लिए मिलेंगे. वाई? टू रिड्यूस ब्यूरोक्रेसीज इंपैक्ट. कुछ काम अभी प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स को भी दे देंगे रेलवेज. वी कैन सी दीज चेंजेस effectively happening starting from 26 or 27 onwards. By 2030, 34, it will hit the peak. You will see a lot of transformation happening. Getting the point here? Client focus. NPA stressed on the provision of goods and services to the clients, along with giving them a voice in how and when what is to be provided. It requires positive, proactive, and responsive administrators rather than authoritative and ivory-towered bureaucrats. Same thing again. Positive हो, जो हमेशा ready to serve the people हो. Proactive. 100 किलोमीटर के रोड बना दिया आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग पामे IAS ऑफिसर विदाउट एनी गवर्नमेंट हेल्प. Utilizing the help of the civil society organization and NGOs and private players in Manipur. 100 किलोमीटर है क्या? 2 किलोमीटर नहीं, 100 किलोमीटर. दैट इज प्रोएक्टिव. वैल्यू न्यूट्रल ब्यूरोक्रेट विल डू व्हाट? ओके, परमिशन नहीं है, ऑर्डर नहीं है, चुपचाप बैठ जाओ. वैल्यू प्रो वैल्यू या फिर नॉर्मेटिव पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर क्या करेगा? अच्छा, गवर्नमेंट से ऑर्डर नहीं है, लेट्स सी व्हाट वी कैन डू. गेटिंग द पिक्चर हियर. एंड रेस्पॉन्सिव एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स, जो रेस्पॉन्ड कर रहा है when people are having trouble responding to it. Like for example, you would have always noticed the easiest way to get attention. Let us say you're traveling in an auto, you're traveling in Ola, Uber or something. Suddenly you experience some trouble. What is the quickest way to get the police attention? If you are in Mumbai, Bangalore, Telangana, etc. Twitter. See the open karo, tag the handle of the commissioner or something and post the video telling that I'm facing this issue. But very quickly you will get a response there. क्यों? पूरी, it is not just you have tagged the handle of the commissioner of police of, let us say, Hyderabad or Mumbai or Bangalore. पूरी दुनिया देख रहा है. Even the home minister will be holding it and saying, not home minister के PA जो भी है वो भी देख रहा होगा कि कमिश्नर कितने मिनट के अंदर रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहा है, कितने वक्त लिया उस व्हाट इज इट फीमेल को हेल्प पहुंचाने के लिए. And they'll keep waiting. And finally, when the female post, thanks to Hyderabad police, thanks to Mumbai police for responding so quickly, this was so impressive. Then the home minister will say, put a comment there. Not home minister के PA एक comment डालेगा. Yes, this was very efficient. We strive for working towards efficiency. Our government ये करेगा वो करेगा. All that you will see there. Responsive. It is no more authoritative. And they are not sitting in ivory tower. Ivory, if you know, it is something that is derived out of elephant. Elephant के tusk से ivory मिलता है. Ivory से अगर आपने टावर बना दिया है तो उसका मतलब क्या है? आपके पास बहुत पैसे हैं and you are sitting somewhere at the top. ग्राउंड लेवल पर रियलिटी क्या है कुछ भी मालूम नहीं है. कुछ भी मालूम नहीं है. नो आइडिया एट ऑल. गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर. सो वो जमाना गया. मैं सही हूं, आप गलत है. लाइक आई हैव टोल्ड यू अर्लियर आल्सो, वन आईएएस ऑफिसर मेड द ब्लंडर ऑफ यूजिंग द टर्म औकात व्हेन ट्रक ड्राइवर्स केम टू मीट हिम. तुम लोगों के औकात क्या है? पहले ये सोच ही गलत है. मैं आईएएस बन गया हूं, मैं अभी सबसे पावरफुल हूं. नथिंग. फूड चेन में अगर आप देखोगे तो आईएएस ऑफिसर इज एट द बॉटम. हाँ, ये एक अलग बात है कि मामूली जनता के लिए आप भगवान के समान है, लेकिन इनसाइड द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ट्रायंगल स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स ऑफिस ऑल द वे डाउन टू द डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर, यू आर नथिंग. दैट इज द रियलिटी. तो वो छोड़ दो वो सोच और विचार के मैं कुछ बड़ा हूं. You become bada when you are more positive, proactive, and responsive. Clear? Last one, management worker relation. NPA emphasized cordial relations between workers and management. NPA focused both on efficiency and humane relations in organization for success. दोनों. यानी कि if you look at NPA is nothing but a combination of classical theory plus human relations school. That is what it is. That is what it is. Because classical thinkers actually focused on what? They focused on 2E. Human relations school focused on what? Informal groups. NPA is a combination of this. Because HRS focused on values. Classical theory focused basically on value neutral approach. Any doubts here, people? Any questions? Relevance, value, equity, change, client focus, and then finally manager worker relations. These are the goals of NPA given by Frank Marini. All right, people. The only last topic that we have here is critical evaluation. Again, time won't be sufficient for it. So critical evaluation and PYQs, we will discuss it tomorrow, the previous year questions. All right. And tomorrow we'll be starting with the next evolution, that is NPM, which is basically nothing but privatization Sindabad. All right. That will be what we'll be dealing with tomorrow. So let us call it a day.